Welcome back, returning subscribers. Welcome, new subscribers. Look, at first I wasn't even going to do a video on this because after my little mental breakdown at the end of last year, I am the epitome of Dilligaff. However, with y'all seeming to have lost your minds over the supposed news that Harley-Davidson has gone woke, I've just got to ask, how does it feel to be a puppet? As you may know, this guy began his conservative "they're woke" attack on the MoCo after his success in having Tractor Supply Company and John Deere roll back their commitments to DEI hiring and climate change carbon emission policies. It seems as though we can add one more to the list, as Harley-Davidson recently announced that it will drop its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. What you may not know is that, with Harley at least, this type of woke behavior goes back to 2018, back when Matt Levatich was CEO of the company. Then, in 2020, when Jochen Zeitz took over, he actually doubled down on that trend by signing the CEO Action for Diversity and Inclusion Pledge, while creating the Rewire and the Hardwire campaigns. Which, if you look at the graph of the hog stock at a 5-year block, you can see that it's worked pretty well for Harley-Davidson and their investors. Not to mention, their second quarter earnings report shows that Harley's revenue increased to $1.6 billion. Gosh, looks like something's going right over there. And the employees who, just this last April, received a 25% average wage increase, additional paid breaks during 8-hour shifts, a 5th week of vacation time, and more. No! You mean to tell me that Harley is paying their factory employees more and giving them more time off? Scandalous! Do me a favor, especially if you're an employee working at a company. I don't care what industry, field, you name it. If you're an employee working for a for-profit company, I would like to know how you feel about getting paid more and getting more time off. Drop me a comment down below and let me know. Now, I was one of those people who, when I first heard Governor DeSantis use the woke word in a speech in 2022, I said to myself, what are you even talking about? I vaguely remember the term from Lead Belly.
I advise everybody to be a little careful when they go along through that, but stay woke, keep their eyes open.
And knew it basically referred to someone who is informed, educated, and conscious of social injustice and racial inequality and progressive values. To me, it meant someone who wants to reduce or lessen the harmful effects of economic inequality as well as systemic discrimination such as institutional racism. Someone who advocates for social safety nets and workers' rights. As I understand it, more than a few conservative politicians, business owners, and a certain podcaster have now weaponized being woke as a very bad thing that we should all avoid. Their belief is that just because someone looks, thinks, or loves differently from them, that that person or group of people cannot be trusted, and it's okay to discriminate against them. Leaving that aside for a moment, what is the reason, do you think, that they would have an interest in you not being informed, educated, and aware of what's going on around you? Why are they interested in keeping us from helping one another and you in the dark, alone, and scared? Let me know in the comments below. And let me ask you this. When you first started riding a motorcycle, did you have friends or family members tell you how dangerous it was and to avoid it at all costs? Did you get looked at differently when you rode up to the family picnic and you were the only one there on a bike? Were they standoffish at first? Didn't want to include you? Were they afraid of you?
They don't belong nowhere else, so they belong together.
How about when you ride? Do you always wave at another biker that passes you no matter what bike they're on? When you see a biker broke down on the side of the road, do you stop no matter what type of bike it is or what the color of their skin is? When you go on group or charity rides or maybe even at a bike night, do you talk just to Harley owners or do you talk to everybody there? Sure, riding a Hayabusa isn't exactly my style. I mean, leaning over that much to where your elbow and your knee is scraping the pavement, I mean, that's baller, man. That takes guts. However, I can appreciate the similarities that we both enjoy when riding, and I feel that that makes us, both of us, better from having learned from each other. Oh, but now Harley has moved to Thailand. How does that help us? That's un-American. First, I'd like to point out that the plant in Thailand opened in late 2018. They did that because of the 31% tariffs that the European Union imposed on the US. And that was in response to the tariffs that President Trump imposed on European steel and aluminum imports. That's right, folks. You've got this guy to blame for it. Next, let me add that HD is only moving the Revolution motorbikes. Their core motorcycles will still be made in York, Pennsylvania, and the engines will still be made in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. And they're investing $9 million in those facilities while stating that the move will not affect U.S. jobs. Of course, the MoCo is not the first American company to do this. Driven by tax benefits, mergers or acquisitions, and the complexity of the modern global economy, some of America's most iconic companies have shifted their headquarters, primary operations, or manufacturing beyond our borders. They include 7-Eleven, Burger King, Budweiser, Firestone, and Tupperware, to name just a few. And even if you're buying American-made products only made in the USA, you are still getting a global product because the company that you bought it from likely sourced what it made that product out of from outside the borders. I mean, folks, come on. This is the 21st century and we are a global economy. Bottom line, don't let this guy, who probably isn't even a biker, tell you what to do or where to spend your money. I'd bet dollars to donuts that he has a money angle in it for himself. Either he wants to wait till whatever company he's currently attacking until that stock drops below a certain point, then buy it and wait for it to bounce back. Or he's bought stocks in a competitor hoping to drive that stock up. 99% chance sure that I think, at least, there's a grift in it somewhere for him. Just saying. I'd really like to see his financials and the trades he's making. Just because a politician or a podcaster or a news anchor is saying something is bad.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
The story persists despite the denials of city leaders.
We have not been able to verify any credible reports or specific claims of pets being harmed.
Wednesday, the city manager releasing a statement on Facebook calling the stories rumors.
It is disappointing that some of the narrative surrounding our city has been skewed by misinformation circulating on social media.
Now, no one at this point is denying that there were complaints made, and we did see video of people complaining at city council alleging these things have happened. However, law enforcement tell us that at this point, nothing has risen to the level of anyone being charged, and they continue to say that there is no credible evidence that any of those things happened.
Or good.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
Calls to poison control hotlines have skyrocketed across the U.S. as more Americans have questions about using bleach and other disinfectants to keep COVID-19 away. Health officials have had to issue urgent warnings reminding people that injecting, ingesting, and snorting household cleaning products is dangerous.
Take a moment, do some basic research, and think about it for yourself. Don't be their puppet, because I can pretty much guarantee you they don't have your best interest at heart. They are looking out for themselves. As for being woke, I see it as being kind to one another, treating others how you want to be treated, helping where you can, and being the positive change that you want to see in the world. I mean, that's pretty much what being a biker means to me. And that's pretty much what I learned in Sunday school, too. No matter what, I'm not buying into their bullshit and allowing anybody to pull my strings. I will continue to think for myself, ride my Harley, wear their clothes, shop at Tractor Supply Company before and after they drop their DEI initiatives. No. I will continue to be kind to one another, be an ally to the LGBTQ community, educate myself, seek out others who are different but the same in hopes of striking up a conversation and learning from each other, because knowledge is power. So, until the next time, guys and gals, please be safe. Please be kind to one another, even if they're woke. Ride when you can and have fun.